Welcome. I wanted to talk about a subject around fundamental technique and the importance of developing that technique standing still or in one stance before moving and trying to incorporate the technique itself into movement. A lot of people nowadays, especially in mixed martial arts, and for all good reason, they have so many things coming at them and so many different options for takedowns and angles. They like to complicate movement and move so much, therefore they're undoing the good work of fundamental technique that works. In Muay Thai, you can see in a Muay Thai fight, there's not a lot of jumping around and hopping around and running around. It's very much standing in front of each other, and they have, of course, defensive movements. They're in range, but they're out of range. Just like top boxers who are standing there and fighting within the pocket, they're in range, but they're just off the range at the same time. So for those out there who are trying to mix up too many movements before they get the foundation correct, you need to stop. You need to stop now and retrain the fundamental technique as it is in its natural stance without movement, okay? Whether it would be a punch, a kick, knee, elbow, any of the strikes are done firstly without movement, okay? You need to learn how to get the technique correct. You need to learn how to have the complete connection of all the body coming through the technique. As simple as, twisting the back foot, shoulder, hip, hand. Where's the hand position? Where's the wrist position? There's so many things just in one strike. Of course, when the fight's going crazy, someone can just throw a massive looping right hand. If it hits you on the chin, it's going to knock you out. There is always details around things that can obviously work with or without technique. But it's so important to know this. So I'm not going to go through the actual movement pattern or the technique right now. I'm just bringing it back to the conversation first, that if you're moving around and running around, you're not going to be able to perfect the technique and pull the technique off. When you advance into movement, after you've already got the foundation perfect, that means when you move, you can then step into movement and then throw in the technique. But if you're moving all the time, you're never going to get a chance to set up the technique. You're never going to get a chance to actually deliver the technique where it's supposed to be. Your stance is going to be off. You're going to be off balance. You think you're moving out of the way, but you can't block a kick. You think you're moving this way, which could be good or could be bad. Some of you don't even know basically where you're even moving. You're just moving for the sake of moving. You don't even know why you're moving. So I want to slow you down and just bring this message back to your attention to know that movement is no good to you if the technique isn't perfected in stationary stance. Then you can advance on and apply it to movement, which takes a lot of practice and a lot of years of experience. So before you fast forward and skip a few steps, I'd encourage you to come back to the beginning and drill the foundation. Get it right in the body so it's connected in the body subconsciously. So the body only knows how to fire the technique one way, and that's the right way. So then when you are moving, when you decide to throw that technique, it will go into the one alignment of how the technique should be. So you can move, but as soon as you move and you come back to the straight line, and then you can attack with a straight line. So it looks like I'm moving sideways, and I am, and as soon as I enter for the attack, I'm moving now on a straight parallel. I'm moving straight forward as the technique should be done in the beginning, with a foundation of just straight linear movement. And of course, then the side to side and variations can be applied later. So think about it. Of course, later as we go through more techniques in the future, I'll be able to show what I'm talking about in physical form. But right now, I just wanted to talk about it and bring it to your attention.